Hi, my name is Jill Maurer and welcome to my channel. On my channel we talk all about design. Today we're going to be talking about the design of YouTube and what flaw in the design caused so many advertisers to boycott this week. So by now you've heard of this boycott, this YouTube boycott, and I'm going to use YouTube and Google interchangeably because they're the same company, but you've heard about this boycott that advertisers have done against YouTube. And I mean, I don't even know specifically who the advertisers are, but you can look at it, it's a growing number, and hear all about that. Really what I want to do is focus on the design, and people are saying, well, I understand the side of the advertisers, or I understand the side of the creators, or some people will say, I understand both sides. There are actually four sides to this. I see four sides. So in the YouTube community, there aren't just advertisers and creators. There are viewers and there's also Google itself. So for YouTube to really be functioning, all four of those players have to be happy. So right now, one of the players, the advertisers, are saying we're unhappy. And in a nutshell, what they're saying they're unhappy about is, they're saying, well, we trusted YouTube or we trusted Google that you would, when we paid you to advertise our product, that you would put our product with a video, with content that wasn't offensive or didn't really go against our brand. And so they're really talking about people who are, maybe racist or kind of big deal problems. As a watcher of YouTube, I can tell you that the problem goes even further than that. If I were an advertiser, I would want to know not only that the videos weren't particularly overtly offensive to me or my target audience, I'd also want to know that it really kind of fits in and it is my target audience. I eat vegan. I haven't had meat or dairy for a couple of years, and it's just the way that I choose to eat. And so I watch a lot of YouTube videos on creating vegan meals and all of that. And one of the channels I like to watch a lot is High Carb Hannah. I just like the way that she cooks, and she looks like, she's really sweet, and I just like her and her channel, and I really like her cooking skills. Well, oftentimes when I'm watching a recipe that High Carb Hannah does, the ad I see for Big Macs. And I think, well, that was a waste of money. I mean, okay, obviously Google has figured out that this is a food video, but there's a little more nuance to that. This is a vegan meal prep video, and that was wasted money. I'm not going to buy a Big Mac. Maybe, I don't really go to fast food, but maybe if McDonald's had a new veggie burger, that might apply to me. But, I mean, it wasn't particularly offensive to me, but it fell on deaf ears. It was a total waste of money. And if I were Big Mac or McDonald's, I'd want to know that I at least had some chance in this market where I was advertising. If Google has the ability, when I watch vegan meal prep videos, it does suggest to me other vegan meal prep videos. And it even suggests to me other vegan channels that don't necessarily have to do with cooking, but have to do with vegan lifestyles. Well, if you can get that, then you probably should be able to figure out that a Big Mac is really not the best thing to try to sell into that market. I do think that there is this one problem, but there is the bigger problem of just really targeted marketing. As a viewer, I get to look at really targeted videos. I mean, this is the advantage of YouTube over broadcast television. I can see what I want, not only what I want, but exactly what I want, to minute detail exactly when I want it. And there are different types of channels I like to watch, and I can watch what I want when I want. It needs to be that way, I think, for the advertisers too, where their advertising is that targeted. That is the real benefit to those advertisers. That is kind of the problem this has, the design flaw coming at it from the perspective of the viewer and then the perspective of the advertiser. You also have the perspective of the content the creator. So for me, just so you know, I don't monetize. I have no plans to monetize. I don't really have skin in this game, but it is interesting to look at the whole thing from a design perspective. The creators are saying, wait a minute, Google, this is your problem, not my problem. I'm creating content. I've been creating this content. And, some bot is going to say that because I used a word that you're now going to make it so that I can't make money off of that video. You don't really know the context. If I use the word, say, white supremacist, I could be for or against that. I mean, and there are people who have very loving channels that might talk about things that a bot would think was negative when it's not. And even the negative positive doesn't matter as much, because it's more about targeting, I think. It's more about, because what's positive to one person may be negative to another, and it's about finding the right audience. But what the creators are saying is, hey, this isn't my problem. I do what I do. You need to fix what you do without hurting me. So this is an example of growing pains. This is a company that had a plan, was growing quickly, and but things change. And so their design plan now has a flaw, and it has been identified. YouTube is different from broadcast television, and it always has been. With broadcast television, you couldn't create whatever you wanted to create. I couldn't watch whatever I wanted to watch, and the networks couldn't create whatever they wanted to create, because more people than that had to be pleased. In order to create a show, it had to be sponsored by advertisers. So there were lots of shows that did not get created and made because they didn't find the advertisers to advertise. And without that marriage, I couldn't see some of the things that I would have wanted to see that would have been targeted to me. It had to be more generic. It had to be generic enough and positive enough that you had people creating a show and advertisers come together, and then it would be broadcast to me. The whole idea behind YouTube is that anybody can create whatever content they want to create, and anybody can watch pretty much whatever they want to watch. And it's a pretty easy thing to do. So if you go and you look on YouTube and you can't find what you want to watch, create it. You know, this is a beautiful opportunity. The challenge comes in when people are trying to monetize it, and you can't have it both ways. You can't take over broadcast television with no censorship and make unlimited money. That's not going to work. That's what you've just learned. And as a viewer, if you're going to charge me to subscribe, if that's going to be your model, then it's not, I don't want you to then limit what I can watch. If I'm going to subscribe, I want to be able to watch whatever I want to watch. Some people are saying that this whole thing is censorship, and in a sense it is, but it really isn't. Right now you can make whatever you want to make. The question is, will you make money off of it? And the answer to that is, it depends. It depends on whether there are advertisers who are willing to sponsor your content. There's an added problem right now in that it's not clear what your content is, and nobody's really been checking that, and some robot is making that decision. Hopefully, technically, that will be resolved. The bigger picture is more about, can you create whatever you want and have it be advertised by everybody? The answer to that is no. People are going to target their advertising and their advertising dollars, and that's likely the way that that's going to go forward. Otherwise, they're not going to give their advertising dollars. At the same time, you can create whatever you want to create, but Google also, you can't have it both ways. You can't say, I want subscriptions and I want advertising, and then tell me that I can't watch whatever I want to watch. That doesn't work either. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm really excited to learn what you have to say. I'd love to hear your opinion on this. I upload videos every week, and I hope you'll subscribe and join me. See you next week.